Hello and welcome back to a new video. Today we're gonna go over my camera gear that I use to shoot my car videos, and I've been getting some questions about my car rig and how it works, so we're gonna go over that as well in the end of this video. So stay to the end of this video if you want to see that. But first let's talk about lenses, and the first lens I want to talk about is my favorite lens, and it's the Sigma 35mm f1.4. I really like their lenses. They are sharp, fast autofocus, even though this is the old version, and I will talk about that later as well, why I'm using the old one and why it's an adapter on here. But I've been using that for my Sony a7S III as well, but I will switch in brand again. And I'm gonna go over that once we come to the camera. But the 35mm is a wonderful lens. Focal length is my go-to when it comes to shooting cars. You can get some close-ups, you can get some wide shots. This is my favorite lens when it comes to shooting cars, and it's probably my most used prime lens. Then we have this one, 85mm f1.4 Sigma Art as well. And it's the older version, but this one is also really sharp and great lens both for photos and videos. And this one I use when I want a tighter shot and to get a more unique style. So these are my top prime lenses when it comes to shooting cars, and the most used lenses when it comes to shooting cars. I like primes. They give off a sharper look than zoom lenses, but when it comes to shooting rollers, I like the versatility, or how to say it. I like to be able to zoom in and punch out. So in that case I use the one I'm shooting on right now. It's the 24-70 f4. Some might say f4 is too high or too low of aperture, but it sure isn't, at least not for me. It's a really good lens for the price you pay for it, and it's f4, so it's a constant f4. It doesn't change when you zoom in or out. f4 works really good when it comes to shooting rollers. When I'm shooting rollers, I don't need to step down lower than f4. I want the whole car in focus, and then, as I said, when I'm shooting rollers I want to be able to zoom in and get a tighter shot, and in that way save some time. So the 24-7 is perfect for that. When I'm using my gimbal, I can use the focus wheel on my gimbal. Instead of putting that on the manual focus ring, I put it on the zoom ring instead, and in that way I can zoom in and punch in on the car, maybe on 50 or 70mm, and then zoom back out to 24 to get a wider shot. I like it that way, but when it comes to shooting night, I prefer a low aperture to get more light in, and I can lower the ISO, so that I use my 35mm. But that's my main lenses that I use for car videos. And then we go on to filters. So first filter is the ND filter. I use the Nissi True Color, and it gives you really accurate color, and I use a variable one because it's versatile, it saves me time. This works great for me, and I would never go without the ND filter. When I use a f1.4 lens on daytime shoots, I really need an ND filter, and that works really good, the Nissi True Color. So it's a little bit more on the expensive side, but you get what you pay for, and that has worked out great for me, and it doesn't give me any weird color tint or something like you would have if you go with a cheaper ND filter. And the second filter is the CPL filters. I always have two with me. If one breaks or something breaks, I still have one in backup. So, and these ones I never go out. I think it looks unprofessional on car shoots if you don't have a CPL filter. You get all these weird reflections because cars is like a big mirror. So using a CPL filter would erase that, and it looks better in my opinion, and you get the reflections away, you get the color back on the car. And if you don't have a CPL filter and you like to shoot cars, go and buy one. You won't regret it, and your photos and videos will look so much better when you have one on. And the monitor I'm using is the Shinobi by Atomos. It's a 5-inch monitor. I would never go without a monitor right now. When you have used a monitor either for handheld or for your gimbal, you will not go without one. It's just so nice to have a big screen to rewatch your videos or even watch your focus and everything like that. Is it a good monitor? I have had some problems with it starting up, and it's slow to start up. It's a little bit warm in the colors, even when you try to edit them in the monitor itself. It's still a little bit on the warmer side, and I don't really like that, but it's the monitor I got and I will still use it. I just have to think about that when I'm using it, and I'm gonna show you later how I set it up in the car to use it with the car rig. But that's the monitor I'm mainly using. Then we have the gimbal, and it's the DJI RS3, not the Pro, it's the regular one. I really like this one. DJI makes good products. I bought it myself, so no paid ad or something like this. But I do like it more with dual handle, so I might buy a ring for it so I can hold it with 2 hands. This is the gimbal I'm using with the car rig as well. You just take off this handle and put only the gimbal on the car rig, and then I control the RS3 with a PS4 controller from inside the car. Yeah, works out really good. And then we have the camera. As I said, I have switched brand again, and the brand I'm using right now is Nikon. That's why I have an adapter here, because this is old Nikon glass, and as you can see in the background right there, I have a lot of glass for Nikon because I've been using Nikon when I'm taking photos, and I really like the colors of Nikon. I know a lot of people that will not feel the same when it comes to Nikon, but Nikon Z8 is a really good camera. I don't care about the brand or the specs that much, but as long as it has 4K and good autofocus, and the autofocus, they have really stepped up the game and it works really good. I can't wait to try it out with car videos because I haven't done that yet. I owned it for 3 months, so hopefully we can go and shoot some cars soon, and then I can show you what it's capable of. But it works really good, and I like the colors. It has 8K RAW internal, so it has pretty heavy specs. I will put the specs up here on the screen, but as I said, I don't care about the specs that much, and I don't care about the brand at all. I just want a camera that I feel I enjoy shooting with. It feels good in the hand and it's easy to work with, and that's what Nikon is for me. So that's what I chose to try out, the Nikon Z8, and I'm enjoying it so far, so hopefully I will enjoy it when I get the time to shoot some cars as well. And as I said, I have a lot of older glass to Nikon. Will I switch it out? Yeah, maybe, to get rid of this and get a more compact setup. That will be later. Now I have glass to work with and I have a good camera, so now it's all about shooting and getting better at shooting. So let's go over the car rig, but then we have to go out and I'm gonna show you how I set it up and yeah, how it looks. Let's go. So this is how the car rig looks, and sorry for the neighbors, they are doing something. I don't know what, but this is how it looks. I can't put on the gimbal because I don't have any V-mount batteries and I forgot that. So I actually tried to put it on, but yeah, it didn't work because I don't have any power. But then you just mount the V-mounts over here and plug it in the gimbal. Behind the gimbal you have that output right there, and then you can power it from inside the car. I use a PS4 controller to control this gimbal, and then I can control it via Bluetooth, and then I can sit in the car. I'm gonna show you the monitor, and then I just have a HDMI cable, a really thin one, so it doesn't bother the gimbal that much. And then I can see everything and monitor everything from the car. And I didn't mount it on the back because I have this amazing Ferrari, so I didn't want to ruin the trunk by putting it there. But let's go in and talk a bit why I use it, and yeah. So when it comes to the car rig, and why I think is the best investment that I've done is because I feel safe doing it. I don't need to hang out the window or sit in the trunk, and biggest reason is because I don't get bothered by the cops anymore. Here in Sweden you're not allowed to do a lot when it comes to the roads and filming, so this was the way for me, and I would highly suggest anyone to think it over to buy one of these car rigs, because it's a really cheap investment for your safety. To be able to sit in the car seat like a normal person, to have the seat belt on, and just control everything from inside the car. It's a really cheap investment for me. Really regret not buying this sooner. Yeah, so that's the biggest reason is safety, and I will be switching out the suction cup mount and just use the arm and absorbing thing that you have on there, and get rid of the suction cup, because I feel 90% safe with the suction cups even though I strap it down. It's the 10% that doesn't feel so good, so I will be switching out that for something I'm building right now that can fit every car that I'm about to use as a camera car. Hopefully I can buy my own car soon, but I will be switching that out for a much faster and reliable setup. And that was it for this video. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't. And hopefully I will see you in the next one. Bye.